how to enter her mind and never leave without begging for love, old Stoic wisdom. To truly enter a woman's mind and leave a lasting impression, the key is listening, not chasing, pleading, or trying to win her affection through forceful gestures. The real power lies in something far deeper, an ability to connect with the very essence of her subconscious. Your goal isn't just to be seen, but to become a presence she feels in the spaces between words, in the energy you emit, in the silent exchanges. When you approach her from a place of true inner strength, you become unforgettable, not through perfection, but through mastery of the unseen. What is unspoken, what isn't offered, yet what is deeply felt. This is the path of true influence. Forget empty words and false promises. Instead, you will learn how to make your presence something she can't ignore, something that resonates with her on a deeper level. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about tapping into the deep psychological wisdom that has been passed down through the ages, such as the insights Marcus Aurelius shared on human desire. It's about energy and emotional presence, two forces that can't be faked. You'll stop being the man who simply waits to be chosen and become the one who leaves an indelible mark on her mind. No longer will you chase her out of fear or insecurity. Instead, you'll be someone who leaves a lasting impact, even without saying a word. This is for you if you're ready to stop begging and start making an unforgettable impression. Like this video, subscribe, and join a community of men ready to transform their approach. Here's the first truth: no one has ever told you to be unforgettable to her. You must first become unforgettable to yourself. Love is not about possession. Love is about appreciation. Osho. 1. Change begins from within. Change begins from within. That is the undeniable truth. When you shift your mindset and evolve from the inside out, you will no longer feel the need to chase after anyone's approval or affection. Forget about trying to earn her love with extravagant gestures or desperate pleas. You see, true power lies in self-love and the cultivation of a strong self-image. When you learn to love yourself, embrace your worth, and build that iron mind, the kind that comes with understanding the depth of old Stoic wisdom, you become someone truly unforgettable. You must realize that you do not need to perform for her, for your essence will speak for itself. The beauty lies in your confidence and the quiet assurance that you radiate when you embrace who you truly are. This is when you'll leave an indelible mark on her mind. She won't be able to ignore you, not because of anything flashy or manipulative, but because of the strength you exude from within. When you stand firm in your principles, grounded by the Stoic teachings of self-control, inner peace, and emotional resilience, she will notice you. She will notice the calm, unwavering confidence that comes from knowing you are complete in yourself. That confidence is magnetic and impossible to replicate, which is why it will be unforgettable. This is how you create a lasting impression on her mind, without doing anything special or out of the ordinary. You don't need to chase. You simply need to be. Building an iron mind is not about flexing your muscles or impressing her with your outward displays of strength. It is about mastering your inner world, following the Stoic principles of emotional restraint, and cultivating a deep understanding of who you are. It is about learning how to silence the noise from the world and focus on the one person that truly matters you. Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that peace comes from within. When you stop seeking validation from others, you will naturally attract the right kind of attention. That is the true essence of being unforgettable. When you develop the strength of mind and character to stand tall in your own truth, you stop chasing approval, and instead, you become the one who others are drawn to. Now, let's be clear, this isn't about arrogance or pride. It's about an unwavering inner conviction, the kind of conviction that comes from applying Stoic principles like patience, courage, and wisdom. You don't need to beg for love or attention. You must be the kind of man who attracts respect, admiration, and affection simply by being unapologetically himself. When you know your worth and show it through your actions and presence, she won't be able to resist the energy you radiate. This is where true change begins. Within. The moment you stop looking for external validation and instead start building your internal strength, you will realize that love and affection will come naturally. You don't have to chase it. You just need to be. When you embody the principles of old Stoic wisdom, you become someone who doesn't need to beg for love, but who earns it through his strength, character, and the magnetic power of his iron mind. Be that man. 2. Strategic absence. There's a saying in the realm of relationships that goes, "Absence makes the heart grow fonder." But in the case of strategic absence, it's not just about missing you. It's about wanting to understand you, crave you, and desire your presence like never before. It's a game changer. You're not begging for love, not clinging for attention. No, you're playing it smarter, and it's rooted in one of the oldest, wisest teachings from Stoic rules. You must understand. Strategic absence is about mastering when to step back, when to create that space. It's a powerful tool from the paths of wisdom, teaching you how to walk away without walking out. You don't need to always be there to win her heart. That's a mistake many men make. They think being constantly available will make them indispensable. Wrong. Practical Stoicism teaches us that real power comes in the moments of detachment, of stepping back. Imagine this. You're always there, always available. She knows where you are, what you're doing, and when you're doing it. Predictable, boring, soon, she becomes used to your presence, like an old blanket she's had forever, comfortable, but no longer exciting. But then, here's the twist. When you stop chasing her and start living your life fully, that's when the magic happens. The absence, that little bit of mystery you introduce, creates a gap that makes her wonder. Where did he go? Why am I thinking about him so much? That's what you want for her mind to be consumed with thoughts of you. Not because you're always there, but because you've mastered the art of strategic absence. Let's dive deeper into this. Take the story of Marcos. She told him, flat out, that he was the safe option, but that he didn't excite her. Now, most men would have panicked at such a statement. They'd double down, try harder, give more of themselves in a desperate bid to win her over. But not Marcos. Instead of getting desperate, he pulled back. He stopped chasing, stopped trying to be the hero in her story. Instead, he focused on himself. He put his energy into living for himself, into growing his own life. And guess what? She came back. She couldn't stop thinking about him. Why? Because in his absence, he created intrigue. She started to wonder why he was so content without her, why his life was so full and exciting without her being the center of it. He had turned the tables, and in doing so, created a magnetic pull that she couldn't resist. This is practical Stoicism at its finest. But here's the thing, don't misunderstand the concept of absence. It's not about ghosting her or playing games. It's about taking care of your own life, your passions, and your purpose. It's about stepping back at the right moments, not out of weakness, but out of strength. And that strength will draw her back. You have to have a life outside of her, a life that is rich, full, and purposeful. She must see you as someone who isn't dependent on her for happiness. That is powerful. You see, Stoic rules tell us that we must control our desires, not let them control us. If you find yourself constantly at her beck and call, always available, always pleasing, then you are handing over your power. You are playing into a pattern of neediness. Instead, be the man who has mastered detachment, who knows when to pull away and let her mind wander. Be the man who walks away from the chase and begins living for himself, full of ambition and confidence. That is how you make her think about you, endlessly. Strategic absence doesn't mean you disappear completely. It means you step away when the time is right. You let her miss you. You create space where she can wonder what you're doing, how you're feeling, and why you're not constantly at her service. This absence is an invitation for her to feel that pull, that desire, that longing for your presence. It's a subtle yet powerful strategy. Remember, this is practical Stoicism at work. The absence creates that yearning, not just for your body but for your mind, your energy, your essence. It's the absence that makes her crave your return. When you can master this balance, you enter her mind, and once there, you'll never leave. So, stop chasing. Start living. Your absence is your greatest tool. Let her feel the pull of your absence and the magnetic force of your presence. And when she comes back, she will do so, not out of pity or obligation, but out of pure, uncontainable desire for you. You must remember, the absence isn't the absence of your presence, it's the presence of your power. 3. Creating a strong imprint through presence and energy. To truly master the art of entering her mind and never leaving, you must first understand the power of presence. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that what matters is not the external circumstances, but the strength within. You don't need to beg, plead, or perform tricks to capture her attention. Your energy, your confidence, your very being must do the work for you. The real influence lies in how you carry yourself. Be steadfast, composed, and unwavering, and let your energy speak volumes. It's about creating an imprint so deep that she can't forget you, no matter how much time passes. That kind of power doesn't require grand gestures or empty words. It requires you to be fully present, fully yourself, and to command the room without trying. Let your confidence, as solid as a Stoic resolve, do all the talking. When you stand firm in your identity, when you hold your ground without seeking validation, you become an indelible force in her life. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. Be bold in your thoughts, unwavering in your energy, and relentless in your presence. The imprint you leave will be impossible for her to ignore, for it is the quiet, steady force that speaks the loudest. Stoicism teaches us to be imperturbable, unshakable. This strength, this inner calm, this silent power is what will make you unforgettable. In today's world, where noise and distraction are everywhere, don't try to compete with that. Instead, cultivate an unshakable presence, a calm strength, and a magnetic aura that will make her notice you without saying a word. You must make her feel your presence so deeply that she will never forget it. Remember this. You don't need to ask for love. You don't need to plead for attention. When you embody the wisdom of Epictetus and harness your inner power, you will win. Your presence, your energy, and your confidence will be the force that keeps her thinking of you long after the moment has passed. It's time to win the battle of attraction. Embrace Stoicism. Be the man who leaves a mark that can never fade. 4. Discovering yourself and creating curiosity. To truly enter a woman's mind and never leave, you must first learn the art of self-discovery. Becoming a man who holds a deep, mysterious quality that she cannot easily unravel will captivate her in a way that keeps her thinking about you long after you part ways. Don't be just another open book. Instead, be a complex puzzle that she can't seem to solve. This allure is powerful, not because you're playing games, but because you're living by the principles of Old Stoic wisdom, embodying an iron mind and a silent strength that draws her in without effort. The truth is, when she can't predict your every move, when she can't figure you out or know what to expect next, your presence lingers in her thoughts. That curiosity becomes a constant pull, an itch she can't quite scratch, making her want to discover more of you, even when you're not actively engaging her. You create a magnetic force that pulls her closer, even in the quietest moments. Sebastian exemplifies this concept perfectly. He didn't do anything extravagant or seek attention. He simply embodied mystery and emotional depth, which kept her constantly trying to decode him. His strength lay in his ability to remain unknowable, a man of substance and Stoic principles. Because he maintained this balance between being present and distant, she became obsessed with understanding him. And therein lies the magic. You must master the art of maintaining emotional depth, living with purpose, and keeping certain parts of yourself just out of reach. Be the man who speaks little but lives intensely, who acts with conviction but doesn't reveal every thought or feeling. When you do this, you automatically create an aura of intrigue, something she cannot ignore. You see, Stoic principles are more than just philosophy. They are the framework to becoming the type of man whose presence sticks in a woman's mind. A man with an iron mind, steady in his convictions, unpredictable in his actions, will always keep her on her toes. She'll want to know more, dive deeper, but every time she thinks she has you figured out, you'll reveal just enough to keep the curiosity alive. Don't lay all your cards on the table. Keep some things hidden. Be mysterious in a way that draws her in, rather than pushing her away. Make her feel something deep, something that transcends the superficial interaction she's used to. It's not about manipulation or playing games. It's about self-mastery. When you live by Stoic principles, you become a man of depth and strength, capable of inspiring awe without saying a word. And that's when she'll realize that she's not just interested in you, she's captivated. You must always remember the key to making her stay in your thoughts is to ensure that she never fully understands you. You are a man who has unlocked the art of self-discovery, someone who embodies the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, and someone she cannot easily pin down. And that's the kind of man she will think about, over and over again. 5. Attraction comes from not needing anyone else. Don't chase approval, don't beg for love. That is the first rule in the path of wisdom. When you stop desperately seeking her attention or validation, you'll begin to cultivate the kind of attraction that's impossible to ignore. This doesn't just apply to women. This is a Stoic rule for life itself. The Stoic wisdom teaches us the power of independence. You must learn to be enough on your own, without needing external validation. When you've mastered this, something remarkable happens. People, including her, will notice you, and they'll want you, not because you seek their approval, but because you've chosen to validate yourself. The real key to attraction is simple. It comes from not needing anyone else. The moment you stop seeking validation, you'll start to become magnetic. Think about it. How often do you feel drawn to someone who is constantly seeking your approval? It's draining. People who are needy are never attractive because they carry a silent desperation with them. That is not the energy that draws people to you. But when you stop needing someone's love to feel worthy, you transform into someone who is complete within themselves. The Stoic rules remind us that true power lies in self-sufficiency. Practical Stoicism isn't about shutting off your feelings or pretending to be emotionless. It's about understanding that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion. When you no longer crave her approval, you stop putting her on a pedestal. This is your first step on the path of wisdom. You'll notice a shift when you stop valuing her only for the attention she gives you. Instead, you'll value yourself more and take care of your own needs, which ultimately makes you more attractive. Love yourself first. That is the essence of true attraction. There's a subtle but profound difference between needing someone and wanting them. The difference lies in the way you carry yourself. Self-love is a quiet confidence that says, I am complete. I am enough. Women, like everyone else, are drawn to that. When you stop chasing her, you become unforgettable. Why? Because she'll feel the absence of you when you're not around. She'll recognize your self-worth even if you never say a word about it. Imagine this. You stop asking for her love. You stop waiting for her approval. Now, you're standing tall, grounded in your own power. She'll start to wonder why you're not begging for her attention anymore. She'll notice the calm, quiet strength you exude. When you act as though you are enough without her, it makes her feel as though she's missing out on something rare. This is the power of Stoic wisdom in action. You don't need her love, but you value it. You've become a man who is free, independent, and utterly irresistible. But here's the thing. You must learn to master the art of detachment. Attraction is not about holding on to someone too tightly. It's about learning to let go. Do not cling to the idea of needing her to be whole. The more you rely on yourself to feel valuable, the more attractive you become. Women sense this. They feel the freedom in your independence. And that, my friend, is what will draw her in. It's what will make her want to be with you. Not because you begged for it, but because she can see how self-sufficient you are. So, stop seeking validation from her. Be confident in who you are. Don't apologize for your own worth. You must realize that you are complete on your own. When you stop seeking, you'll start receiving. That is the wisdom of the ages. one of the most profound lessons passed down by the Stoic philosophers. True attraction doesn't come from neediness or desperation. It comes from strength and self-sufficiency. Remember the moment you stop chasing approval, the moment you stop begging for her love, you will become someone unforgettable. That is the power of the Stoic path, to love yourself first and let the rest follow. That is true mastery. If you found this wisdom valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing advice. Comment to remember, I am enough on my own, and that makes me unforgettable. 6. Self-love as the foundation of any relationship. To enter her mind and stay there without begging for love, you must first understand the timeless principle of self-love. The foundation of any lasting relationship begins with one simple truth. You cannot attract love if you do not already possess it for yourself. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In the context of love, this translates into the understanding that self-sufficiency is key. When you truly love and value yourself, you naturally radiate confidence and strength. You do not need to beg for her attention or affection. You become magnetic because you are already complete. Like attracts like. And when you are fully invested in your own well-being and growth, you will find that others, especially her, are drawn to you. You must never rely on someone else to validate your worth. To master life and relationships, you must first master yourself. Self-love isn't about vanity or narcissism. It's about understanding your own value and standing firm in that truth. When you are secure in who you are, you become irreplaceable, not just to her, but to everyone around you. As the Stoics teach, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. You must control your inner world. The external world, her love included, will follow suit. You want to win her heart. Start by being your own champion. You must create a life that you would never want to leave. You must make yourself a priority, not out of selfishness, but because your life, your growth, and your fulfillment are your responsibilities alone. You will never convince anyone of your worth by begging or pleading. Don't be a man who chases after affection. Be the man who commands it through his integrity, strength, and self-respect. You are the architect of your own destiny. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, what is not made conscious manifests as destiny. So, make it conscious now, your own worth, your own value, your own power. The moment you recognize your own greatness, the world will begin to reflect it back to you. Do not wait for her love to make you feel whole. That is a losing game. You must create your own foundation of self-love that stands firm, independent of any external validation. When you understand that you are worthy and enough exactly as you are, you position yourself as the man who commands attention. Remember, the Stoics understood this well. To truly win in life, you must first win the battle within yourself. Master yourself, master your emotions, and master your actions. Only then can you enter her mind and remain there without begging for her love. You are the one in control of your fate. And if you are not first your own greatest admirer, you will always be left chasing what's already slipping away. You must walk with confidence in your own skin, knowing that you don't need anything outside yourself to complete you. Epictetus told us to first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Make self-love the foundation of your every action, and you will win, not just in love, but in life. 7. No need for strategies or emotional games. Forget about using strategies or playing emotional games. They won't lead you anywhere. These tricks are a waste of time. If you want to truly captivate a woman's mind, you must approach her with genuine authenticity and power. That means no tricks, no manipulation, just you, confident and grounded, embodying what you believe and who you are. The more you try to win her over with strategies or mind games, the more you'll push her away. True attraction isn't about proving something. It's about making an impact on her subconscious by simply being present, by radiating strength that comes from within. When you align yourself with old Stoic wisdom, you cultivate an iron mind, one that doesn't need validation or constant reassurance. This is the heart of Stoic principles. Your inner strength is what matters most, not external approval. Many men fall into the trap of thinking that they need to send cryptic messages, play hard to get, or act aloof to attract a woman. The truth is, she isn't interested in your calculated strategies. What she craves is a man who is unshaken, whose emotional equilibrium doesn't hinge on her reactions. When you behave from a place of solid confidence, built through consistent action and emotional discipline, you stop worrying about whether she'll respond to your messages or if you've done enough to get her attention. You don't need to prove anything, and that's what makes you magnetic. It's not about playing games. It's about showing up as someone who is comfortable in his own skin, who is calm, composed, and resilient. Let's go back to Stoic principles for a moment. One of the key lessons is the ability to control your reactions. You can't control how she feels, but you can control how you act. And when you act with purpose, without desperation, your presence alone will stir something deep within her. The old Stoic wisdom teaches us that true power comes from within. When your mindset is unshakable, it speaks volumes without saying a word. An iron mind is a mind that doesn't crumble at the first sign of uncertainty, a mind that isn't swayed by emotional games or fleeting strategies. It's a mind that remains steadfast, unaffected by external circumstances. What she's truly seeking, what she longs for, is the connection you can offer when you drop the need for games and posturing. The woman you desire won't be drawn to you because of some mysterious text or clever maneuvering. She'll be drawn to the depth of your character and your ability to remain calm and centered. That's where the power lies. So, stop trying to figure her out. Stop worrying about what to say next or whether she'll think you're being too forward. The best way to attract her is to be the kind of man who doesn't need anything from her. This isn't about giving up on love or becoming emotionally distant. It's about developing an inner fortitude, an unshakable self-belief that attracts rather than demands. This, my friend, is the essence of old Stoic wisdom when you act with integrity and self-respect. You enter her mind and stay there, effortlessly. 8. The power of silence and self-confidence. The greatest weapon in a man's arsenal is often not what he says, but what he doesn't say. Silence, when wielded with purpose, becomes a force more powerful than any words you could possibly utter. And when it's paired with genuine self-confidence, it creates an aura of mystery and strength that's irresistible. Don't think for a second that silence is weakness. Quite the opposite. True silence, the kind that comes from a deep, unshakable self-assurance, speaks volumes. You don't need to fill every moment with chatter to constantly reassure her of your worth. In fact, when you do, you diminish it. Remember, silence isn't about being mute. It's about not feeling the need to prove yourself. When you truly understand and embody this principle, you begin to understand the Stoic rules that govern powerful, meaningful connections. Why silence is so powerful. Take a moment and reflect on this. Why does silence hold so much power in human interactions? It's simple. When you remain quiet, you force the other person to lean into the space you've left behind. She's left to wonder, to feel drawn toward you in ways words can't replicate. It's an invitation for her mind to roam into uncharted territories. She starts to think about you, analyze your every glance, and guess at your intentions. The quiet man becomes the mystery. And let's face it, mystery is irresistible. This is where practical Stoicism comes in. Stoicism teaches us the value of controlling our emotions, our reactions, and our impulses. In a world that constantly pressures us to communicate our worth, the Stoic man knows that he need not seek validation. He's confident in his own being. He doesn't yell, he doesn't demand attention, and he doesn't beg for love. His value is self-contained, and that confidence radiates from him, not through words, but through actions and restraint. Self-confidence, the foundation of silence. Now, let's talk about confidence, the rock-solid foundation that enables a man to remain silent in a world that's often so noisy. Self-confidence doesn't come from external validation. It doesn't come from her compliments or praise. Real self-confidence comes from knowing that you are enough, just as you are. This is the essence of Stoic rules. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. And the one thing you can control is your own mind, your own actions, and your own sense of self-worth. When you enter a relationship, whether it's romantic or otherwise, your ability to stay grounded in silence shows that you're not desperate for approval. You're not seeking to fill an emotional void. Your inner calm speaks louder than any words ever could. And that's what makes you so magnetic. You must remember, real confidence is silent, not loud. How silence makes her think about you? Let's explore this further. What does it mean for a woman when a man doesn't feel the need to fill every silence with words? It means that she must do the thinking. She must search for the deeper meaning behind your actions and your calm demeanour. She is drawn into a dance of curiosity and attraction. In essence, your silence becomes the most profound conversation you've ever had. The paths of wisdom that the ancient Stoics left behind encourage us to understand the value of patience. Instead of rushing to speak, act, or impress, they knew that quiet contemplation and restraint were more effective tools for lasting influence. When you remain silent, you give her the gift of space, a space for her mind to engage with yours, to wonder about you, and to crave your presence. How to master the power of silence and confidence? 1. Don't over-explain yourself. The more you explain, the more you dilute your own value. When you remain silent, you force her to look deeper, to read between the lines. 2. Be comfortable in your own skin. Confidence isn't a show, it's an internal state. The Stoic man doesn't need to convince the world of his value because he knows his worth. He knows that his silence is a reflection of his strength. 3. Don't react impulsively. Silence is a choice, not a reflex. Reacting emotionally is a sign of weakness. The Stoic teaches us to be deliberate in our responses, to choose when and how we engage. This calmness under pressure is magnetic and creates an aura of mystery around you. 4. Be patient. Sometimes, the best way to win her mind is to simply wait. Don't rush into the next conversation or the next move. The best relationships often grow from the seeds of patience, and silence allows these seeds to flourish. By mastering the art of silence and cultivating a true sense of self-confidence, you will enter her mind and never leave. You will create an attraction that is rooted not in what you say, but in who you are. So, embrace the silence, practice practical stoicism, and watch as your relationships become more meaningful, more enduring, and more profound. In conclusion, don't beg for love, don't shout for attention, be the man who knows his worth, who understands that silence speaks louder than words. The real power lies in the quiet strength of a Stoic heart. That is the path to truly entering her mind and never leaving. 9. Energy transformation from within to outside. To truly enter her mind and never leave, you must first master the art of transforming the energy within yourself. The foundation of becoming unforgettable lies in self-confidence and self-love. When you stop chasing validation and begin to truly love yourself, you no longer seek love from anyone else. This magnetic, self-sufficient energy is the key to leaving an indelible mark on her mind, because when you are authentic, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. As Epictetus wisely stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This applies to your self-perception. When you realize your own worth, you stop the endless cycle of proving yourself. You must understand self-worth isn't something to earn through gestures or words. It is something to cultivate from within. Stop wasting time begging for attention or affection. Instead, focus on what you can control: your internal growth and peace. The Stoic way teaches us to live in harmony with ourselves, not with the approval of others. You must be your own source of validation. She will be drawn to the energy you radiate when you stop needing her approval to feel whole. This isn't just about impressing her, it's about impressing yourself. True strength comes from not needing anything external to define your value. You are enough on your own. In today's world, Men often feel the need to prove their worth through external actions, chasing after women, approval, or material success. Don't fall into this trap. Remember, he who is not a good servant will not be a good master. As Epictetus teaches, you must first serve yourself, your own mental clarity, your own goals, your own self-discipline. Only then can you give your best to anyone else, master yourself, and everything else will follow. You must be so solid in your own identity that she can't help but be captivated by your strength. It's about showing her, through your actions, that you are the kind of man who doesn't need to beg for affection, but instead attracts it effortlessly. This energy is rooted in self-love, not arrogance. Know that your value is inherent, unshakable, and not tied to her reactions. When you stop proving yourself, she will start to see you as someone who is beyond ordinary, a man who commands respect because he is whole, not because he needs anything from her. As you evolve, so will your ability to impact those around you. Your confidence, your authenticity, your energy will become magnetic, and she'll never forget the man who is content in his own skin. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that true power lies within. You are the architect of your fate. When you stop looking for validation and start focusing on personal mastery, you will win. Not just with her, but with life itself. You must become a man who wins through inner strength, like the Stoics who knew that only by mastering the self could they truly conquer the world. Never forget, to be even-minded is the greatest virtue. Win through the mastery of your own mind and energy. That is the path to becoming unforgettable. 10. Creating desire through absence. Mastering the art of desire isn't about constantly being present or overly eager for attention. No, it's about knowing how to disappear at the right moments, leaving a space that sparks longing. Men, listen carefully if you want to enter her mind and never leave without begging for love. You must understand the power of strategic absence. The old Stoic wisdom teaches us that absence creates a sense of longing, an emptiness that forces her mind to wander back to you. You don't need to be performing grand gestures or putting yourself at her beck and call. Instead, embrace the Stoic principle of restraint. Be present when necessary, but don't overstay your welcome. You don't need to fill every moment with your presence. In fact, when you strategically create distance, her desire for you intensifies. It's an iron mind that knows how to pull back, not chase endlessly. You must grasp that the absence is the silent builder of attraction, not your constant availability. You see, by giving her space, you've now made her realize the value of your presence, something she can't take for granted. It's not about being cold or playing games, but understanding when to step back so that she can appreciate what she has in you. When you act with this level of wisdom, rooted in old Stoic principles, you show that you don't need her to validate you. You're not dependent on her attention. And that, my friend, is exactly what makes you desirable. An iron mind doesn't chase, it waits, and that waiting creates the perfect balance. Be the man who understands the fine line between presence and absence. That is the Stoic way. The more you master this, the more you'll notice her turning to you, craving your attention, knowing that the moments you share together are precious because you're not always there. You have to leave her wanting more, not in desperation, but with the understanding that your presence is something worth waiting for. That's how you keep her in your mind, without ever begging for her love. 11. Choose yourself before choosing anyone else. You must choose yourself first. This is the foundation of real self-respect, and it's the first rule in the paths of wisdom. Many men fall into the trap of waiting to be chosen, seeking validation from others. But this is a dangerous game. When you crave someone else's approval, when you hinge your worth on someone else's love, you open the door to dependency, insecurity, and doubt. Don't crave her approval. Don't beg for her love. Don't surrender your power. Instead, choose yourself first. That's the only way to become someone she can't forget, someone irreplaceable. When you choose yourself, you show up as a confident, self-sufficient man. You become memorable. Be the man who is whole, who doesn't need to depend on anyone else to feel complete. Here's the thing, you don't need to wait around for her to make a choice about you. You already have the choice to be yourself, to live your truth without her validation, and once you stop craving her approval, once you stop hanging on her every decision, you'll find something incredible happens. You'll become magnetic. You'll attract her naturally because you are comfortable in your own skin. This is the essence of practical stoicism, self-reliance and inner strength. Never place someone else's love above yourself. When you put someone on a pedestal, you lower your own value in your eyes. You must understand your worth. Be the person who knows they are enough. And in doing so, you will create an environment where love can grow. Not forced, not begged for, but nourished by mutual respect. The Old Stoic rules emphasize inner control and clarity. If you place your happiness in the hands of someone else, you give them power over your emotions, over your life. Take that power back. Instead of wondering if she will choose you, choose yourself first. Be strong enough to stand alone, and you'll become irresistible. That's the secret. The more you value yourself, the more valuable you become to others. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about embracing your true self, being unapologetically you. And when you do that, you will attract someone who values you for exactly who you are. Choose yourself before choosing anyone else, and you will unlock the key to a lasting and meaningful connection. Love yourself enough to not wait around for anyone else's love. Be the kind of person who doesn't need to beg for affection, who doesn't chase after someone's approval. You'll find that love follows naturally when you are confident in your own worth. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you choose yourself, you are choosing a mindset of abundance, self-respect, and inner peace. It's a mindset grounded in the practical stoicism of knowing that you control your own emotions and your own destiny. You are enough as you are. Choose yourself first, and you will naturally become the kind of person who attracts the right kind of love. This is not about selfishness. It's about self-sufficiency and respect. And in the end, it's this self-respect that will make you unforgettable, someone she will never want to leave. Hey there. Thanks so much for sticking with me until the end. I hope this was insightful and helps you on your journey to building genuine connections. Remember, true confidence comes from within. When you stop seeking validation and prove nothing, you create a lasting impression. You'll leave a mark in her mind simply by being yourself, not by constantly trying to prove your worth. So, focus on loving yourself first and trust me, you'll become that irreplaceable symbol in her mind. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more wisdom on relationships and personal growth. Take care, and stay true to who you are.